So first of all, I would like to acknowledge that we're gathered here tonight on the traditional and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples, in particular the Musqueam, Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh First Nations, and we would like to thank them for being able to live and work in their ancestral lands. So now I would introduce our CEO, Chief Executive Officer, Olga Stakova, to give some welcoming remarks. Thank you.
Well, good evening, everyone. I am really privileged and thrilled to be able to be here at what is, I think, our first large in-person event since the onset of the pandemic. So, like Hugo, I'm just so excited to be able to reconnect with many of you in person without the Zoom box. And I hope you are energized to be able to talk to people in person and meet many of new people at this event. I'm really thrilled that so many of you decided to brave the weather tonight and join us for what is an evening of celebration of talent, skills, the resilience, and energy that newcomers bring to our country every single day. Tonight we'll get to hear from our awards recipients, and whether it's newcomers themselves who are building their life in Canada, or the individuals and organizations who work hard every day to ensure that Canada stays and remains a welcoming country for newcomers, a country that truly embraces and celebrates the expertise and the rich lived experience that immigrants and refugees bring to this country. So I really hope that you enjoy this event. I'm really thrilled that you decided to spend this evening with us. And to get us started, I would like to introduce Petra Kuret, the chair of the MOSAIC Board of Directors. Please join me in welcoming Petra.
Good evening, everyone. It's always interesting to go after Olga because there's a bit of a height difference. And I have to say to the quartet, I walked in and was greeted by this wonderful song from Andrea Bocelli, and it reminded me so much of falling in love with my husband. And I was telling someone that we put inscriptions in our wedding bands that we didn't know what the other person had done. And so as we walked out of the church, we were ripping off our rings and reading it. And the words Vivo per lei, which is I live for you, which is the name of the song that was playing when I came in, was written in my ring. So thank you for bringing me back, MOSAIC, to a time 23 years ago. And really to the beauty of the artists in our world that have really taken a bit of a backseat in our midst again. But with that, I am Petra Kuret. I am honored to be the volunteer board chair for MOSAIC, and certainly am absolutely thrilled that we're here to celebrate tonight with the immigrants, the refugees, and those that really have made a contribution in terms of human rights and inclusion and diversity. And as I am in front of this incredible group of people and those that are not able to be with us, I'm reminded of my own story as a first-generation Canadian, as parents that came from war-torn World War II in Europe, with no language, no education, to this beautiful country that we all call home now, but with a suitcase filled of hope and opportunity. And that search really is what they embodied in myself and my two sisters. And I am reminded of all of you that have that same lived experience in your own way, and we're here to recognize and celebrate all of you tonight. So with that, I look forward to a lovely evening, and again, congratulations to all.
Thank you, Petra. So before I invite our keynote speaker, Antonio Fada, I just want to share a little bit about him with you. Antonio has an MA degree in philosophy from UBC. He currently works as an employment consultant at WorkSafe BC Burnaby Edmonds, and as a student career advisor. Antonio is very dedicated to support newcomers, immigrant, and refugee in their career journey. He will tell us more about his journey as a newcomer and his role as an employment consultant, working and supporting newcomers. Distinguished guests and award recipients, please join me in welcoming our keynote speaker for MOSAIC 2022 Awards, Antonio Fada.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much. Thank you for the warm welcome. Appreciate it. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here. My name is Antonio, and I had the privilege to participate in the Social and Civic Engagement for Newcomers program, SEEN, just before the pandemic hit in 2019. I am happy to be here bringing my testimony of the tremendous impact that this program had on my professional and personal journey here in Canada. The SEEN program was a turning point for me at a time when I was at a crossroads between giving up entirely on my Canadian adventure and returning back to my country, to Europe, or instead staying and putting roots in this country. I came from Italy almost 10 years ago, and I came with a working holiday visa, which allows you to work and travel. And I came with what I thought was a huge barrier, huge employment barrier, a degree in philosophy. I remember questioning myself, I have a degree in philosophy and I am Italian. What can I do with these credentials? Pizza, of course. What else? You guessed it right. And once the short-term permit expired, I extended my stay. I liked the country. I wanted to stay more. And I obtained another temporary working permit. I continued to work in the food industry. And for about a year, after that, I decided that I wanted to stick to my original plan. And I wanted to get back on track with pursuing academia, which was my plan. And I did so by obtaining and completing a master's degree at UBC. But once I finished school, I was again with the same dilemma. What kind of career should I start here in Canada? We know that there is a huge gap between academia and the job market. When you graduate as an international student, there is an additional barrier. You can obtain a post-graduation work permit, which is a short-term working permit. Now, some of you probably know that in order to qualify for the permanent residency, you still need to gain 1 year work experience in a skilled occupation. You have a limited window period of 2-3 years granted by the permit to get that visa. Colleges and universities do what they can, but as we know, their funding of career services dedicated to international students is very limited. The academic environment is generally welcoming to international students. Approximately 93% of students are satisfied with the Canadian educational experience, and that's a great achievement for Canada. However, outside of school, students encounter various forms of discrimination, including career-related discrimination. International students' biggest barriers are the lack of work experience in the host market and the absence of a social and professional network in the host country. International students also experience a great deal of career-related discrimination. And this applies also to other categories of immigrants, such as temporary workers, refugees, and in general, other newcomers. Research shows, for instance, that employers are about 40% more likely to select a candidate with an English-sounding name versus someone with an ethnic name. And further, international students who identify as, and newcomers as well, who identify as visible minorities or BIPOC, face additional challenges, as shown by data collected by Statistics Canada in 2020. This is why we need to continue to advocate for the extension of support to these categories of newcomers that are not necessarily PR, but who are in desperate need of our help. I strongly believe that whoever lives in this land, in which we are all guests, by the way, needs to have access to fundamental support services, such as the one provided by MOSAIC, independently from their immigration status. As for me, after graduation, pressured by time constraints of obtaining the PR and lacking a supportive environment that could have injected the necessary confidence, I reverted back to the comfort zone of the pizza job, just to get the PR. At that point, I was almost 8 years in Canada. With my PR, things started moving in the right direction. I stopped and asked myself, what are you doing 10,000 kilometers from Italy making pizzas with 2 master's degrees? Could have done that in Italy as well, right? At this point, I reached out. I took every volunteering opportunity that I could, and that gave me a clear understanding that I was not alone in this immigration journey, that I was not alone experiencing these barriers and challenges. This was the time when I met the program Social and Civic Engagement for Newcomers from MOSAIC. SIN was instrumental in building up my confidence, self-efficacy, and empowerment. SIN was an invaluable opportunity to learn key skills in nonprofit and board committees organization. We learned about leadership skills, inclusion and diversity, public speaking, and much more. Our facilitator, Mariam and Samantha, were role models. Olga, Eyob, Allison were fantastic teachers, and I had the privilege to make friends from all over the world with amazing skills and talents. It was great. Please continue to support our community with this program and continue to be advocates for newcomers. We need to extend our visibility in organizations, politics, and Canadian society in general. In my current role, working in the nonprofit sector, actually I want to pause and say thanks to my organization, Fraser Side Community Services Society, which is doing an amazing job throughout New West and beyond, which is a partner of MOSAIC as well. Thank you. And in my current role, I have the privilege to support newcomers on a daily basis. While I'm doing my daily needs assessments, and before setting up an action plan, I always pause and tell them, reach out. We have an amazing and supportive community in the Lower Mainland, a thriving ecosystem of nonprofit organizations, and people extremely dedicated to improving your journey and your experience in this country. Sometimes I even self-disclose to get my point across and tell them, I have been there. I wish I had reached out earlier to my support network. You can reach your objectives earlier if you reach out. As for my barrier philosophy, well, I was mostly joking. I never saw it as a real barrier. There is always continuity in the great scheme of things for all of us. And in fact, what is philosophy? According to the great Greek philosopher Epicurus, the scope of philosophy is to help people attain a happy, tranquil life characterized by peace and freedom from fear. It seems to me that this is exactly what we are doing in the nonprofit sector and here at MOSAIC. We are all philosophers here. We help people to overcome fear, deconstructing their barriers, repositioning their self-worth which is their perception of their own value and advocating for a more peaceful and inclusive society. Thank you so much to MOSAIC. Thank you to all of you for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonio, for your inspiring words. I think success stories like Antonio's is what gives other immigrants the ability to let go of that fear, and it also assures us that we work to support you, that we're on the right track. So thank you for that. And now, as Antonio said, we're all guests in these lands, and to acknowledge that we live, play, protect, and serve immigrants, refugees, and migrant workers, we have, let me say your name correctly. Sinakwa Wis, please.
Hatsquile, Eochtinoya, Sinakwala, Quiansna, Tenachantla, Sahan Ochomeo, Ewanaux Titameoch, Wa Nachim ta Hunt Kamitnam, A Skohotmish Snachim, Ta Stalmoch Chit, Ta Tameoch. So greetings, hello everybody. My name is Sinakwala. My name is Sinakwala Weiss. And so my family comes from the village known as in the North Shore called Slahan. And so when we look at where we are today here in Burnaby, we are overlapping many different nations' shared territories. So our nations within these areas nearby what we know today as Burnaby, we have our different groups of nations who speak Huntkaminam and Squahotmish Snakejim languages. And so it's a real pleasure to be asked to be here today. So thank you for sharing the stage with me and the really important work that you are all carrying out. And so when we look at those languages, what's really important to understand is today what we see as our relationship to the land is not that as Indigenous people or people of the land is that we don't have ownership over land, but rather our relationship to these places is that we want to be stewards of the land. So the children, thinking about 7 generations from now, that children will still have the pleasure and the joy of doing things like for us of the different occasions such as berry picking or being able to enjoy nature the way that we have since time immemorial. So another way we call it since time out of mind. So before we had to look at our watch and keep track of our time is to think that our relationship to the land was based on that understanding of connection and seeing our plants and our ecosystems as we're part of the family with the forest and with our lands and waters. So thank you all for having me. I wanted to share one of our songs from the Tsleil-Waututh Nation, known sometimes as the Coast Salish Anthem. So you may have heard this song at other events before, but we always, not as a copyright or ownership, but we always have gratitude and thanks to the families who allow us to share this song. And so from the Tsleil-Waututh Nation, Chief Dan George was an activist and actor. He was one of the very first Indigenous people to be in Hollywood, to be seen on film. And so for many years of misrepresentation of Indigenous people, this song was something that came to him as a prayer song. But because so many people began to know who he was, that we had so much gratitude from Coast Salish nations, which is from Vancouver Island to here near the Lower Mainland, and then over to near Seattle and Washington. So all of the nations appreciated this prayer song that he shared with the world and asked permission for the song to be shared publicly as what we now call the Coast Salish Anthem. So thank you all for having me and just giving gratitude to the George family for allowing this song to be shared in a good way. And we see no difference between a song and a prayer, that they're all both one and the same. So thank you all, and I hope this all gives you good feelings in your heart and mind. OCM, thank you. Haichka.
He
Thank you very much. Now to continue with a very important part of our program, educational award presentations. And why is it so important? Because education is knowledge, and knowledge gives you power. And power, like Antonio said, will help us deconstruct as newcomers and reach out to exercise our rights, to be part of the community, and to be able to be participants in politics and other parts of whatever you want. Is it training or is it just being part of your family? But education is necessary to be able to grow. And in this process, we had many nominations and packages, around 75. So it was a very difficult job for the awards committee. I wouldn't want to be in the awards committee, it was very difficult. So just a round of applause for the awards committee for being able to choose the award recipients of today. We have 4 categories of awards supporting refugees, immigrants wanting to pursue post-secondary education. And we had excellent nominees in 4 categories. So congratulations to all award nominees and recipients. We are truly honored to present these very deserving individuals with additional support for their education, and we thank the donors from the bottom of our hearts for their generous donations and making this possible. You truly changed lives. So for our first award, the Educational Awards presentation, I would like to invite Dr. Kes Chetty for the Chetty Education Award. Jillian Chetty is going to present this, and it's called the Dr. Kes Chetty Education Award because of your late husband.
Yes, that's right. Oh, that's right. Thank you very much. It's a real pleasure to be here, as it always is. I was saying to Larry, I think I've been coming for about 30 years to give this award, but each time it gives me pleasure. I'd also like to thank MOSAIC for giving us this wonderful opportunity to get together. It's new and it's fun. Thank you. I've been asked just to give a little bit of background to the award. It is named after my late husband, Kesville Chetty, but he was always known as Kes by his friends. And he was born in South Africa, but his family actually came from India in the mid-1800s. They were indentured laborers in South Africa, I think in the sugar plantations. He grew up under the very repressive regime of apartheid, and because of that, he left and went to London, and then he immigrated to Canada in 1970. And while he was here, he continued to work on the anti-apartheid movement, raising money for the South African Council of Churches, working with Desmond Tutu. But he was somebody for whom being connected to the community was extremely important, and he very quickly got involved in local politics, or not politics so much, but local issues. And he was a real advocate, worked on issues of justice, racism, literacy, health policy, and the many challenges that face immigrants and refugees when new to this country. Giving back to the community was a really strongly held value of his, and in fact he was on the board of MOSAIC as well for a number of years before he died. After his death, now as we mentioned about 30 years ago, a number of his friends and family created this award, and it's given annually now to people who have been recommended by the MOSAIC community. So I'd like to congratulate the 2 winners today, Naz and Hanna. And Hugo, I think you're going to introduce them, and then I'll present them.
Okay, so our first award winner, recipient of the night, Hanna Yihdego. Please, if you would like to join us, Hanna. Hanna arrived in Canada from Eritrea in 2019 with her family, midway through the school year. She worked tremendously hard to catch up and will be graduating from high school this month. She plans to go to Douglas College or Langara in the fall, and she participated in a number of youth programs at MOSAIC, including wellness workshops, the Youth Documentary Project, and the New Youth Theater Project. Well done, Hanna.
First of all, I would like to thank MOSAIC for nominating me to be in this ceremony. And I just want to say I'm really grateful to be in this community because it helped me a lot to grow, and it supported me to be a better person that I am right now. So thank you so much for helping me, and I would like to thank you for the donation to help me with my education purpose. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Hanna. Nastaran Qubadi, if you could please join us. Nastaran began participating in youth program at MOSAIC in the summer of 2020. She began her post-secondary education at Langara College in September of 2022 and has a passion for social justice. So maybe you could work for us later? She has taken a leadership role in her community to bring change to the situation in Afghanistan through fundraisers and rallies, and has even given back to MOSAIC as a volunteer by providing language support to newly arrived Afghan families. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm really not good at public speaking, but I would like to thank Dr. Kess, Monica, for introducing me to this award. By the way, I study business management, yeah, I'd like to thank each and single person that helped me get to this point, and yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jillian, to you and your family for establishing this much-needed award. Hanna and Nastaran, MOSAIC congratulates you. You're an inspiration, and we wish you all the success. Our second award of the night, the Eyob Naizghi Award. And I would ask the chairman of the board of MOSAIC, Petra Kuret, to please present the award.
So this award is presented to a female refugee for leadership development through education and training to inspire diverse leadership in Canada, whether the leadership was highlighted in a refugee camp or in Canada, or by mobilizing people anywhere in the world. The scholarship will support her future leadership aspirations. In a very few months, Sediqa has been in Canada. She has tirelessly sought opportunities to help, to learn, and to remain connected. She's been volunteering as an interpreter, as an English teacher for newly arrived Afghan children for a local nonprofit organization. Sediqa was initially introduced to MOSAIC's youth projects by a friend. She joined workshops, field trips, and trainings, and has participated in MOSAIC's youth documentary project to get the skills she needs to film and to create a YouTube channel to connect the colleagues in Afghanistan. Sediqa has extensive experience supporting gender violence victims and PTSD patients in war zones back in Afghanistan. She has a passion to help others, and her warm heart will make her a great professional in any career she endeavors to pursue. So with that, I would like to invite Sediqa to the stage.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I'm nervous. It's I don't know why it's always difficult to speak in front of people. I just want to say thank you to MOSAIC, all its staffs. Thank you for this award. It's very valuable for me. It helps me to build my career once again here. I also want to say thank you to my husband for all his support during this time, And I also want to say thank you to Monica. She's super supportive. She helped me a lot during this 1.5 year. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Good night.
Congratulations, Sediqa. And don't worry, my wife also asked me today, Hugo, are you nervous? And I said, of course I'm nervous. So nerves always help. So, our third event of the night is the Anne and Joanne Sopkov Scholarship Award. I would invite as presenters, please, Marilyn Van Norman, Paula Carr, and Carl Bognar. Please.
Hi, we are delighted to be here, and unfortunately Carl is not able to be with us as he was ill today, and he's very sad not to be here. We're delighted, though, to be here on his behalf. I'm so happy to be here. I came from Toronto for this event. Our dear friend Joanne Subcow dedicated her career to education and career development through the federal government. And she felt very strongly that there needed to be support for young people who come from another country to get started in career development or education. And so we're really, really happy that this award is going to go to someone she'd be very proud to be the recipient of. So, Maliheh.
So tonight's award recipient, Maliheh Ardeshiri. Ardeshiri? Thank you. Maliheh came to Canada as a refugee in June 2019 with her teenage daughter. She worked in a bakery to support herself and her family, but is now looking forward to returning to college to study early childhood education, and this award will help pay a portion of her tuition. Congratulations.
Thank you. If you let me, I want to talk about my experience in Canada. And I'd like to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak here and to be here with you. Before everything, I would like to thank you, my family, especially my sister, who has been helping me since the moment I came to Canada. And also Mona, who has always been there in the most difficult points of my life in Canada. And Joanne, Subco, Marilyn, Paulo, and Carl. Thank you so much. This is Maliheh Ardeshiri. I am single mom. I have a daughter who is 16 years old, and she lives with me. I used to be an architect in my country, and also took some cake decoration courses there. Here in Canada, I started work in bakery for about 1.5 years. After that, decided to take some courses related to children and start working in daycare. And about the day that passed, when I look back, I remember I spent the most difficult time in those days. Everything was so hard for me. Newcomer, new language, new position, everything. But I promised myself, you have to go on and you have to be successful. But I continued. I experienced really tough times then because I went to school every day. After that, I had to rush to work. And because cost of the living here in Canada is so high, and I needed to fend for myself. I managed to pass through those difficult times because the only time which comforted me was the faith in God I had in God and my mom's prayer. Since I got to know Mona, I have realized that angels could be living on the earth. Yeah, and meeting you as well makes me feel the same way. Although these days I'm so busy working and studying ECE and insurance and financial in college at the same time. But I'm so happy and even more motivated because I have found my way to a better future. Finally, I would like to promise all the women like me out there that if they want something from the bottom of their hearts and try hard for it, they will achieve it. And I ask you keep this sentence in your mind: no pain, no gain. In the end, I need to appreciate the chance I was given by all of you to help me be here and help me improve. Thank you so much for everything. And these words are from bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maliheh. You're a true example of resilience. And thank you, Marilyn and Paula. And Marilyn, you're an angel that came from Toronto. That shows your true commitment to these awards. Much appreciated. Our fourth award of the night is the Educational Enhancement Award. This is a new award created in 2022, and it selects up to 4 deserving recipients tonight. And the award is to be used to pursue academic, professional, or vocational studies. I would ask Larissa and Nicole Shuila to please join me.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Larissa Shuela, and next to me is my sister, Nicole Shuela. We are honored to be here tonight to present 4 Education Enhancement Awards in partnership with MOSAIC. We would like to thank all 19 applicants who submitted applications. Every request that was submitted was deserving of serious consideration. Behind every application was a story of hardship, struggle, coupled with a very strong desire to succeed. Narrowing the field down to 4 awards was a very difficult task. Nicole and I intend to donate these awards on a yearly basis, and we encourage those who were not picked this year to please, if they like, apply next year. They are welcome to. It is our sincere hope that these Education Enhancement Awards will serve as a stepping stone to help newcomers to this country realize their goals and ambitions and their dreams in Canada. We ask them to keep striving for excellence and to keep dreaming big. Thank you.
In the center, and I'll call each recipient. I'll name each recipient, and you can please come up one by one. Alejandra Perezalonso. A long-life baker, Alejandra had dreamed of attending culinary school since childhood. She worked hard and earned a scholarship to study at Le Cordon Bleu in Mexico, but after 2 years, her studies came to an end as of the political situation in Nicaragua meant her family had to flee the country. Now in Canada with her family, she hopes to pursue her baking certificate at Vancouver Community College in order to enter the baking industry and start serving her community through her love for food. And the Educational Enhancement Award will help her to do just that.
Hi, I'm nervous too, so bear with me. I really want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank MOSAIC for this amazing opportunity, and to you as well. Thank you for coming here, and I'm very grateful to have known you and being granted this award. They call me cheesy when I say that because of this, my dreams are going to come true, but it's the truth. And I want to thank my family for always supporting me, and also Fairuz, which is a settlement worker at MOSAIC that not only helped me, but all my family since we came here. And honestly, MOSAIC has been like that community that we honestly really needed once we came here. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, MOSAIC, and have a good night.
Felicidades, Alejandra. Maria Albasha. Maria arrived in Canada as a refugee from Syria in 2018. After the war, in her home country made it necessary for her to leave and stop her education. He dreamed of finding safety and being able to continue school. In Canada, she was able to take English classes and complete her high school education, eventually enrolling in the dental hygiene program at the Vancouver College of Dental Hygiene. MOSAIC Scholarship will support her with her educational expenses as she builds her life here in Canada.
Hello, everybody. Happy to be here this evening. First experience on a stage. I hope we get to this. It's my pleasure first to be here with you in this evening, as it's an honor for me to stand in front of you and receive the valuable award. This award not only great financial support, but it's also a great push for me to continue my studies. I would like to thank you for being here, and thanks MOSAIC, thanks everybody, and thanks it's all about it, and my family who also bring me here for the first step. And thank you so much. I hope you enjoy this night with you. Thank you.
Our third recipient, Mishal Abdullah. Mishal arrived in Canada from Pakistan in December of 2021 and is working towards becoming a practicing dentist in British Columbia. The support of the Educational Enhancement Award will allow her to fully focus on her studies during a critical point in her career and alleviate significant financial stress for her as she prepares to sit the National Dental Examining Board of Canada equivalence exam.
Hi everyone, my name is Mishal and I'm a dentist. I graduated from Pakistan and I'm currently working to get my license in Canada, and it's a very long process. So I'd like to thank MOSAIC and the award committee for giving me this opportunity and to fulfill my career goals, and that's all. Thank you.
Fourth recipient of the night, Sidhant Sidana. As a new immigrant to Canada from India in February 2021, Sidhant has been accepted to the University of British Columbia Bachelor of Applied Science Engineering program for the upcoming fall semester. Despite moving to a new country with family, the pandemic, she has been very involved in her community through volunteer activities such as the Vancouver South Constituency Youth Council and the South Asian Newcomer Youth Club. It plans to pursue biomedical engineering and eventually attend medical school. Congratulations.
So before I start, could you just move your chair a little to this side? Yep. So my parents always taught me that, son, if you could make people move with your words, you have made a great speech. So now that we have established I've made a great speech, I would like to speak my heart out. I am sincere. So I'm sincerely grateful to MOSAIC and the donors for this award. I appreciate the support more than I could ever express. And like it was said, I moved to Canada in February 2021. So that was at the height of the COVID pandemic. And today I'd like to acknowledge that moving countries, it's particularly an arduous process. It's a tolling process that is physically, emotionally, and financially draining. But Canada, unlike any other country, is exceptional. Canada has made this process easier for all of us immigrants. The acceptance, the inclusion, and the multiculturalism it's extraordinary. It's not found in any other country. And with support of organizations like MOSAIC, this process has become easier for so many immigrants just like me. And like it was said before, I plan to pursue medicine, and the first step of the way is to get a bachelor's, so I would be pursuing engineering at UBC. The values instilled in me by my culture and my family have taught me that lucky are those who get a chance to serve their community. And in the words of my mentor, Dr. Abdullah, healthy people make a healthier nation, they make a happier nation. So what great community service could be in helping people achieve good health and lead happier lives. And I'm sincerely grateful for this award. It would allow me to continue with my education at UBC while continuing with my volunteer work and my service to the community. So thank you for that. And like any other immigrant kid, a huge shout out to my parents. They're in the back. I mean, they have been my pillar of strength and support every step of the way, so thank you.
I think we found our new MC for the next. Our next award is the Employer Recognition Award, and for this award I would invite my dear colleague Larry and Effie to the stage. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hugo. Good evening, everyone. I'm Effie Garcia. I'm the coordinator for the newest employment program in MOSAIC. That's a little bit of plugging there. The Work XP internship program. It is such a pleasure to be here tonight. Hi, Larry.
Hi, Effie. Good evening. As I've been introduced, my name is Larry Chan. I am the Senior Manager of Employment Programs at MOSAIC. It is both a pleasure and an honor to join Effie today to introduce this year's MOSAIC Employer Recognition Award.
The MOSAIC Employer Recognition Award is presented to an employer for leadership and commitment in providing a workplace that supports the principles of multiculturalism and employment equity.
This award was established and first awarded in 1997. This year marks a milestone date as we present the Employer Recognition Award to our 25th recipient.
The Employer Recognition Award is presented to an employer who has a diverse, multicultural staff,
provides a work environment that acknowledges and works with immigrants and refugees with various language barriers,
and supports immigrants and refugees' integration into the Canadian workforce by providing opportunities such as work placements, job shadowing, information interviewing, volunteering, and employment.
All nominees are put forward by MOSAIC employment staff who work directly with our employer community. Nominees are then reviewed and the recipient is selected.
So this year, I had the honor of nominating tonight's award recipient and was very thrilled when I was told that they were selected. Ladies and gentlemen, our Employer Recognition Award goes to Uncommon Purpose, formerly known as Traction on Demand. But first, a little bit of history on our awardee.
So Traction on Demand, as it was previously known as, is now known as Uncommon Purpose, has for over 14 years built solutions using the Salesforce platform. And if you don't know what Salesforce is, you've probably been, living in the woods because Salesforce is really big. So much so that Traction on Demand and their services has become a leader in dedicated Salesforce consulting and applications development. They have been delivering cross-platform strategies and solutions across Canada, in fact, globally. Traction has recently been acquired by Salesforce, but it continues to deliver quality products under their new brand, Uncommon Purpose. As a product development company, Uncommon Purpose turns ideas into dynamic business solutions by focusing on potential of its people. MOSAIC first came to know Traction on Demand in 2019 when MOSAIC worked with Salesforce to recruit and support newcomers for their Salesforce for All program. At that time, Traction on Demand generously provided financial supports that allowed the program to be provided at no cost to the clients. Later in 2020, MOSAIC again had an opportunity to work with Traction on Demand when MOSAIC referred and screened applicants for Traction on Demand's Traction Access program. In fact, we referred over 100 very qualified newcomers. Most recently, MOSAIC had the pleasure of working side by side with their staff as a partner on MOSAIC's Fast Track to Customer Relations Management, or what we call F2 CRM project. It is a project that was generously funded by the Ministry of Social Development and Poverty Reduction. Without their funding, it could not have been possible.
That's right, Larry. And MOSAIC and Traction on Demand, now Uncommon Purpose, have built a strong partnership and together created initiatives and opportunities for newcomers, including a boot camp training for immigrants, internship opportunities, and hiring individuals from diverse backgrounds. Uncommon Purpose is obviously committed to building a diverse workforce and being an equal opportunity employer. As Larry mentioned, MOSAIC's most recent collaboration with Traction on Demand was for a Salesforce training for the F2 CRM project, which I had the honor of overseeing. This was more than just a partnership. It was a commitment and investment, a commitment that involved over 50 volunteers, or as we have come to know them as Tractionites. Sounds like Justice League heroes, right? Right. Over a span of 8 months and an investment of many volunteer hours, MOSAIC was truly amazed at how much support was pouring into the program, with staff and managers sharing themselves and their knowledge with our program participants, week after week for almost a year. Traction already has an outstanding technical system in place, but the key to the success of our program were the staff. They were selfless, dedicated, and shared MOSAIC's advocacies in providing better learning opportunities for our clients, creating fun and upbeat learning platforms that made it easier to understand for our participants. Not only that, Traction provided not 1, but 4 work experience placements for our clients, and eventually ended up hiring one of them. This is the kind of employer that we want to partner with forever, right, Larry?
Yes, absolutely.
I wish we could do that. For all these reasons, we feel that Traction on Demand has gone way beyond our expectations. My colleague, who's here also with us tonight, Lilian Atieno, who also worked on the F2CRM program with me, and I can attest to this. So, to Georgie Marks, who's somewhere in the UK, Meki Harizi, who's somewhere also in Europe, Emily Dodge, and the many Tractionites at Traction on Demand, now Uncommon Purpose, who worked tirelessly to deliver an outstanding training program with us. We salute you, and we thank you for helping us reach our milestones and creating such a welcoming and inclusive learning environment for our MOSAIC participants. Truly, a purpose such as this is uncommon, but you made it happen. Thank you once again, and congratulations.
It's now my pleasure to invite Vice President of External Relations for Uncommon Purpose, Manu Varma, to come up to the podium, accept this year's MOSAIC Employer Recognition Award, and say a few words.
That was quite the sideshow, you two. I'll just take this on the road, and you might regret giving me a microphone. Hi, everyone. My name is Manu. If you have trouble with my name, just pretend you bought something new and stick my name in front of it, like my new car, my new shoes. That's how I like to introduce myself, although with all the gray coming in, I'm about to change my name from maybe Manu to maybe not so new, or maybe Manold. Anyway, I respond to everything and above. Thank you for such a lovely tribute to our organization and our community as a whole. I think it was Picasso that said the meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose is to give it away. And we've always felt that technology is our gift. And that's what we've always wanted to give back with. And this program has just always been such a great thing. And you heard the great description of Salesforce CRM. It's in the cloud, right? So my mother, who's 90, but you work in the cloud, it's always raining in Vancouver? How? Like, don't you have more time to come see me because it's always raining? Anyway, so that was a great description, but just think of Salesforce as just a digital platform that can do any kind of automation. And that's what we wanted to do, is create a domain-specific training for newcomers to Canada to really help them break into the tech sphere, because you don't necessarily need to have a computer science degree to work in the tech sphere. I certainly don't. I'm not smart enough. But it's been a great journey to partner with MOSAIC. And hearing some of the stories out here today, I got to say I was proclaimed in tears. It's just so motivating. This is what these partnerships is so important for private business to partner with government and non-governmental organizations like yourself. So love this partnership. Thanks so much for hosting us. Truly humbled and honored. Thank you.
And now for our last award of the night, the Human Rights Award. Our presenters are Nikki Sharma, MLA Vancouver Hastings and Parliamentary Secretary for Community Development and Nonprofits, and my boss, Sherman Chan, Director of Family and Settlement.
Thank you. Before we invite Andrea to come up to receive the award, I would like to say a few things about the MOSAIC Human Rights Awards. Social justice and advocacy is the heart of MOSAIC. We know that when we do our work, we are not just doing our work. We want to make sure that the individual, the clients that we serve get what they can get. But also we look at institution, we look at the system, we look at how we can change the system to make it work better for the people we work together. So that is in our heart. And since 30 years ago, we have this award. We want to make sure that we acknowledge our colleagues in the field that share similar philosophy, social justice, humanitarian hearts, human rights, and ethnic relations. So it's really tough for us to find good people to be there. And then of course, when we look at what and who we do and we work with, we find people all the time. It is hard, but we find people all the time. Of course, today we have our parliamentary secretary here, Honorable Nikki Sharma, who can really co-present this award to our dear friend.
Great. I just want to start by saying what an honor it is to be here today and how wonderful it was to hear all these amazing stories. And every time I step into MOSAIC space that's created by all the loving hands that are here, I'm so moved by everything that comes from it. So really an honor to be here, and I thank you for that. And it's a special honor to be able to co-present this award to Andrea. And I just want everybody to know a little bit about Andrea. Andrea is devoted to working with refugees, immigrant and Indigenous women in co-creating spaces that aim at building confidence, reclaiming lost agency and independence, and rebuilding community connections and relationships. Andrea is a volunteer, ESL and IELTS instructor working with newcomer women of all ages. She volunteered for many years teaching English at the Newcomer Center for moms with children under 5 and teaching English classes to seniors. Andrea is an active volunteer and leader of the MOSAIC senior programs, which she's done for many years, including leading the multicultural senior choir and providing mentorship and connection for the seniors. I just want to congratulate Andrea on all the work, and I just want us to all think about all the lives she's impacted from all the time that she's given for newcomers here, and I'm sure that's just grown immensely because of all your efforts. So please come join us on stage, Andrea.
And I have to say that when I given the mic, I thought I'm going to sing. But no. In front of Andrea, I am humbled that I really want to learn from her how she conducts a multicultural senior choir. That they learn English, they become friends, they really working together to really promote the harmony of working together. I'm really honored to present it to Andrea.
Now I'm afraid I'll drop it, so I might just set it down. First of all, thank you so kindly. I am humbled by this, to be honest. I'm not even sure what to say except very, very grateful. There's also something really quite extraordinary to be in a room with like-minded and like-hearted people. It just lifts me. I can't even explain. I do want to maybe just say a couple thank yous would be better, but just to maybe shine a light quickly here. MOSAIC has been a beacon of light for countless refugees and immigrants, and it's an honor and a privilege to even participate in any capacity. So I would like to just draw attention to Daisy, who is just a force for the seniors as an advocate and just as the most caring person perhaps I've met. I also would like to introduce you to the seniors multicultural choir, who are just they're my role models. They are absolute, honestly, they're so inspiring. They did musical theater this last year in English in front of people, learned a script and performed. It was incredible. I also just want to say hello to Saba and Mambo and Catherine and some of the others from the Flourishing Foundation who've been working together, lifting up and holding up and providing spaces for better discussions, more equitable discussions, more equitable places, particularly for refugee immigrant and immigrant women and our Indigenous women in this land of Canada. I'd also just really quickly like to say and thank you to Olga and Sherman and all of the teams at MOSAIC for the work that you do. I hope I haven't forgotten anybody. I have some wonderful news I want to share, so I know I'm rushing myself. I also saw 2 students tonight that I haven't seen since newcomer Fatima. So good to see you, and your salam is here. 4 years ago, we put in an application for a family reunification. Someone you know, Shagufa, I think many of you know her. And earlier today, I was at the airport and then the Richmond Hospital when her brother arrived. So one is here, and her mother and sisters should be following quickly. So just the best news, best day ever. Anyway, thank you deeply. I'm honored. It's an invaluable award and reminder for me always, so thank you kindly.
Thank you, Andrea, for being a beacon of light within MOSAIC. So we're almost at the end of our night today. I would only ask Olga again to join us for some remarks to end this night.
Thank you, Hugo. And what a dynamic and inspiring evening. So many messages of hope and courage and perseverance. I would really like to again congratulate you all, the award recipients. For Andrea, Andrea is such a privilege, truly privileged to be working with you at MOSAIC, and we are all in awe at the time, your own time that you spend volunteering and supporting newcomers in Canada. So thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to continuing working with you. Manu, again, pleasure, and thank you for being such a champion for hiring newcomers. We need more employers like that who really make it their cause to create opportunities for newcomers to be able to shine in our country. So again, looking forward to continue working with you. For all the scholarship recipients, I'm really looking forward in staying in touch and following your success, because I think you all agree that we've seen today incredibly talented and driven individuals, and I know that you'll accomplish great things in Canada. Also, big thank you to all our donors for your ongoing support and making these events possible. Thank you to all of you for coming and helping us celebrate today in person. And thank you to the MOSAIC team for making this possible. I know there were countless hours of a lot of people, a lot of time on the side of their desks to make sure that we have this event and we can enjoy this evening. And at the end, I'd just like to say a few words to my fellow philosopher, Antonio. As an immigrant with a master's degree in philosophy from the old country, I too wondered how this degree prepared me for a career and for a job. But after 20 years in leadership positions in Canada, I can tell you that philosophy is the right training for leaders. Because at the end, philosophy is about asking the right questions about the world around you. And that's at the core, being able to ask the right questions is at the core at every leader, so we should talk. Okay. So now I'm going to turn it over back to our incredible host and MC, Hugo. Thank you, everyone.
Just to remind you, you can still donate. And please, it's your night of fame. All of you, you can, Abdi's over there. Abdi, please wave. There's official pictures over there for you, and you can also get a copy. You just have to email Abdi. So please, after we finish, go and have your picture taken. And just remember that we all planted a little seed today. As a donor, as a volunteer, as an award recipient, and you changed your life and other people's life. Good night.